look pro.
It takes a wee second. Nick, you're not on camera.
Are we in?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
So, welcome, folks, to the Stop Playing Realism podcast. We're back again with some more heavy conversations and topics. It's happening in the globe right now. We've got Nick on the podcast, and we've got Ken on the podcast. And we're going to be talking about the Middle East escalation. So we are. We're just going to have a casual conversation, and let's run into it. What are you doing with all these teddy bears?
So we're not just two dudes sitting side by side, with knees touching it, you know.
I'm kind of getting worried again. So, the fuck? You did that really quick. Fucking. Now I'm spreading my teddy bears. What the fuck? Get that fuck out. Right, so, Nick, do you think we are actually on the edge of a bigger war right now?
All out nuclear destruction.
What?
No, I hope not. That would be horrible. I think that the situation is getting close, but I don't know. Who knows, really, right? Who knows really what's going on?
Like, how close do you think we are? Do you think we're a year away from it, or do you think we're days away from it?
Well, for there to be all-out nuclear war and destruction, it would have to be all of us disagreeing, the major players, United States, Russia, China, completely disagreeing, which that is not even on the cards at all.
Yeah.
And Iran has the whole Iranian conflict is just insane, and who really knows what the outcome is going to be? But hopefully for the Iranian people, that it comes out, pretty good. Soon, for them.
Hopefully. What do you mean?
Well, hopefully,
what's so good for them?
That now that the regime's been toppled, and hopefully
it's still there.
Well, I mean, they're definitely been taken out. The top, so many leaders are gone that they don't even know really who's in charge anymore. And now I think they blew up too many people to figure out who's gonna take the reins and guide them into the future, and that's where they're at right now, and trying to figure that out to get to the negotiating tables to get this ended once and for all, hopefully.
So you're thinking the Venezuelan model, so where they just replace the Ayatollah? Well, then, I mean, it's been passed down to the son of the supreme leader, so now but he's missing.
I've heard reports that he's been airlifted to Russia to get the treatment that he needed to get his leg that was blown off figured out. But then who knows if he's even alive there? Who knows what's going on? That's the thing. It's who really knows what's happening?
There's no recording of him, and there was a speech that was read by a interpreter or something.
Yeah.
So there's not even recording of his voice. I mean, if it was just his legs, he can actually say something. To at a time of war, the people need the leader. He can at least say something. He couldn't even say something. So that leads me to think that he's either in coma or he's just dead from day one.
Possibly, and that's where we need to find out what's going on, because I know that there's lots of different factions within Iran that don't have any leadership now, and they're all just kind of running crazy, going, "Oh, there's a target, let's shoot at it," boom, and then they're just have nobody controlling anything really. It's just all this rogue stuff happening, and then we're trying to figure out what's how to control the Strait of Hormuz, which is it's all power, money, oil.
If he is dead, why would they be hiding it? Is the question.
Because his father was it was like a cult,
right.
And the person at the top was the very charismatic, all powerful. Everyone kind of has to listen to him.
He's related to Muhammad.
He's
and
God.
Stuff. Yeah.
And then if that personality is removed from the cult, then it leaves who do we listen to now?
Yes.
So then before he died, he says he passed on to his son. But if his son is also dead, then the whole thing just falls apart. So if his son is dead, then they could not let that news be known.
Yes.
So I think that's maybe he's either in coma or he's dead, and they just do not want that to be known.
So they don't want it to change right away.
Because once it's too much shock, because they're under so much pressure now.
Yes.
and then it was revealed that they've been lying all along. That somebody else in the shadow has been making all these decisions. Then the soldiers will not follow the orders. They'll go like, okay, well, at the beginning I thought it was Khamenei, and then I thought it was Mujtaba, and now we don't even know who's in charge. So who's giving me these orders? Why should I go and listen to him and risk my life? So they could not let that be known, I think.
Yeah.
And
what do you think that would tip us over that point of it all happening? What would push it to that point where there could potentially be more conflict over there?
Well, right now we're in a ceasefire.
Yeah.
And the Americans have extended a unilateral ceasefire. But if what you're saying is right, that they are leaderless and they're just firing without orders, then the ceasefire will be broken. And once they fire upon the Americans will have an excuse to fire back. And as far as we know, the Americans have been restocking and resupplying, during these 2 weeks of ceasefire.
And we've been moving troops. Over 50,000 troops are in the area at the moment.
Yeah, so they're not bluffing. So if this is game of poker, then I say Iran better fold, or else going to lose everything.
It's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, they're using the oil as a leverage to, because that's like where a big majority of a lot of countries get their oil is from the Strait, and so that's why they're using small boats to attack ships in the Strait, because it's only like a 30-mile crossing, so it's pretty easy for them to control.
Talking of boats and ships and the oil and stuff, do you think the global shipping will collapse?
No, it can't. It's not going to collapse. The price of everything is going to go up, and it already is. It's going to trickle to everything, because everything depends on the flow of goods, and oil is the driver behind it. So,
what's your opinion on?
I think it's only money. I think ultimately, if the money we can get back, it affects the economy, but
only the billionaires get richer in this game.
Yeah. I think like if you have a lot at stake, in the economy, let's say you've got a lot of investment and you worry about the investment dropping in value, then you worry about the economy,
Yeah.
But me, I don't know a lot. So, economy go down, I'm kind of bothered.
Yeah.
And then eventually they'll build back up. That's what humans do. Like we came from like mud huts, and then we build the economy. So even if everything's knocked down in mud huts, we still build it back. So this thing will slow us down, but ultimately it'll be better for us to get rid of this menace, to the world.
And dependence on energy as well. This is like a big lesson, and that we should stop depending on oil so much, and we have the technology to move forward.
Yeah. I'm sure this crisis is going to push a lot of people to green energy and solar and wind and all that stuff, because the oil price is so high.
Yeah.
So
and even nuclear too, like nuclear.
And nuclear, if they can make it safe. I hear they can make it safe.
They can, because they've had small nuclear reactors on submarines and aircraft carriers since World War II without incident, no problem. People have been literally riding a nuclear reactor.
What are you going to do with the waste?
The waste is they've been talking about that for a long time. They bury it usually deep underground, or they fire it into outer space. Isn't that what they've been talking about? Shoot it at the sun. No, but probably bury it. Or they've also been talking about reusing it for other things, for other energy sources and stuff as well. Because there's technologies with especially they're coming out with what to do with nuclear waste, and how it can still have life to do other things with besides just burying it.
So recycling it?
Recycling it into something else that can be used for something else.
What do you think would happen if one major shipping route was shut overnight?
What would happen if one major shipping route?
Yeah, it was shut overnight.
Well, that's pretty much what happened in the Strait of Hormuz. That's one major shipping route that was shut overnight, and we didn't really plan for that one.
Yeah.
Depends how long. If you shut it overnight for one day for 24 hours, nothing much will happen. The price will go up temporarily, but then everyone's got buffer stock. So every country has a buffer stock of
supply
stock.
Yeah, and then they're now using this reserve because it's been cut off, and they have maybe 6 months.
You have to tap into their reserves. Yeah.
And then once the supply that runs out, then we'll see humongous problems. But like, if you suddenly close it, for a short period, it'll be okay.
Yes.
I mean, how long has it been? A month now?
Oh yeah, it's been like a month. This has all been going on, so it has. And it's already started riots. It's started riots and stuff, like protests.
The price has gone up.
Especially over here in Northern Ireland. So
Over here, the farmers got the tractors out.
yeah.
Do you not feel that's a bit unpatriotic?
I think that what they're doing is crippling their own economy, and they're stupid for doing it because they shut down their own oil production place, which gives them local oil. And it's like over 25% of their oil comes from that refinery in Cork, and they literally just shut it down.
Yeah.
So that is just dumb.
Close
Like, they don't understand their own, like, to make things move here, we need local oil, right? Like, and even that Britain doesn't even rely on the Strait of Hormuz at all. Like, they have their own oil pumping out of the North Sea all the time, and it's the richest crude oil in the world. So we don't have, like, here in Britain, they should be fine, dude. Like, they have their own oil, and they refine it in Scotland.
With BP.
Yeah, BP, and even in Scotland, which is actually a refinery that's owned by the Chinese, but it's being ran here in Scotland, and they fucking pump all the oil for all of Britain.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, the world is flat, dude. When it comes to economies, like being from California, like the whole world, the big players of this world work together to build each other's economies. Like the Bay Bridge, for instance, in San Francisco, was a loan from China to build it because America didn't have the money to pay for it. And so we got a loan from China to build it, and they paid for it. And then we got our engineers to help build it, and we all built it together. And then they put a toll on it.
A toll, yeah.
And then they make all their money back, and then everybody makes a shit ton of money off of it. Everybody's happy.
So you don't think there'll be any energy price pressure in like the short term, but maybe long term if it was to continue?
How long is it going to continue? I mean, when will it end? It's been going on, like ceasefire and then fighting, ceasefire and then fighting. I mean, where is it going to end?
Yeah.
I mean, I see the whole thing as one big thing, all the way from the Russia
and Ukraine. Notice we never hear about that anymore. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is like in the background, big time. We don't even hear about it.
They're
at
both
all.
exhausted.
It's disappeared.
They've been damaging each other so much that
They're all cousins too, which is like just horrible that they're like all killing each other because they're all related.
It's horrible. It's
The Ukrainians and the Russians are all related.
Yeah, they really should stop. I mean, it's really senseless.
It's pointless to have a war at that level. So
I don't understand. Like Russia has so much land; it's got more land than
Than any other country in the world.
in the world.
Yeah.
And why does it want a piece of Ukraine, 20% of Ukraine, and then like, what they should do? They've got all these land that's like, and they don't have a big population. They should be developing it instead of invading all of it. They don't need to. And then they're friends with China, and China has no oil, and Russia's got plenty of oil. So Russia can just sell oil to China, and China can make all kind of things, construction, supply Russia, with all kind of materials.
Minerals and stuff, the precious minerals that China has is like one of the main things as well.
Yeah, that's the main. I think the main thing about China is they have this humongous workforce that's
Biggest
very
in the world.
efficient. Yeah, they're smart, they're efficient. They produce all kind of things. Everything you see, could be made from China.
Everything we use, yeah.
So they can supply Russia with everything they need, right? And all Russia needs to do is supply with oil. And then in a very short period of time, they can develop Russia, and Russia can flourish. And China will flourish because of oil and working with Russia. They do not need to make enemy with the West. They do not need the vast, the tiny piece of land. So they can just kind of like, what they should do is back off. Basically, freeze the conflict where it is right now, where it is. And both Russia and Ukraine are Christians. They should just forgive and forget. Like American and Germany, they used to be enemies, and look at them now.
they're working.
We work together.
Yeah, they work together
in lots of ways.
Yeah.
So that that's what being Christians about. And
they're all related.
and they're all fighting, why are they fighting? And it's a real shame.
Yeah.
And then Russia is helping Iran, rumored allegedly, which just breaks my heart. Like, you know,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Well, it's just
Why?
because of like the energy there. There's like big players. If there's energy, then there's going to be big players, right? And like if they're producing oil, then they're going to need help, right? And who's going to produce it? And if America's not in there helping them with the infrastructure, then Russia's going to be in there helping them with their infrastructure, right? Especially when it comes to pumping oil.
Well, I think they should all have like. So Iran takes this attitude of like no coexistence with Israel and with death to the Americans, they take a hard line, and no matter how much you try to talk sense into them, they will just hold on to that line. Whereas Russians and Chinese seems to be more reasonable. They do not take that hard line, right? So if Iran's out of the picture, then we can make friends with Russia and China, and instead of like having two camps, two people fighting each other, we could be working together, and making and fixing the world up.
That's
because
it's like in space, because we've been working. Russia and America have been working together in space since the Cold War ended in 1989.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Elon, you're thinking about like Elon. He's thinking going to Mars and stuff. But I think more like Jack Ma. Jack Ma is a Chinese entrepreneur. He says that there's enough stuff here that needs to be done
On Earth.
on Earth before we can go out there. But then I think we should do both.
Both,
Yeah,
absolutely.
We should go out there and see what's out
We
there.
need to be combining our resources and technologies.
Yeah, instead of pushing against each other,
going against
they should be pushing together.
And it's literally going to save the human race. And we're all in it together. It doesn't matter.
I think a turning point is now. This is a turning point.
Yeah.
Once Iran's out of the picture, and I hope that is going to be the case, because right now even the Americans walk away and go like, well, okay, our job is done here. Iran's never going to be the same again. It's not going to be such a menace.
Yeah.
So and there'll be normalization across the Middle East. And
I heard of Iran being amazing back in the 70s. It was like the Las Vegas of the Middle East. Like you could go there and it was amazing. It was just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it all changed once the Ayatollah took it over. And like I have,
Well, the good thing is that because of technology, I think you can build from scratch to modern civilization in a very short space of time. Like in China, like building just
in
like
one
cities,
day.
Yeah,
A hospital in one day. Like,
cities,
prefab, just bring it all in.
Yeah.
Just erect a whole 50 towers.
So I know the
building.
damage to like Gaza and Iran is pretty bad right now. But if they can just go bring it back, if everyone's worked together, they just bring it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you think would solve the Iranian issue, and what's going on? Like, what do you think the best potential outcome would be at this moment in time for them?
To
establish and solve it,
to establish a proper government that's going to work with the rest of the world to get things going again there, to help that whole region.
Yes.
But they said there's 13 million people. I think was the population of Iran's
90 million.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then there's 13 million of them are like converted into hardcore Shia Islamism. So what are you gonna do with those 13 million? I mean, you can't. The West does not go around generalizing. You have to make space for them. What are you gonna do with them?
Yeah.
We don't go around killing people. So.
Yeah.
So we have to make some space. I mean, like, hopefully they go into Afghanistan. I mean, if they like strict rules that much, they can go to Afghanistan and give all the strict rule they want. Let's go there.
That is the biggest, craziest thing ever. Is the Afghan thing? Holy crap!
The Afghan Taliban is pretty bad. It's also at war right now. Well, actually,
With
there's also a
Pakistan.
ceasefire.
Yeah, between Pakistan and
Pakistan,
at each other's throats again.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, man. This world.
It's just that they believe in this fundamental sort of version of Islam, whereas there's also peaceful Islam. It's really good, like respectable Muslim people out there. And my ex-girlfriend's Muslim. She tells me that there's some of them that some section of them or some version of them who believes in extreme
Yeah, there's definitely multiple tribes within Islam.
Even the Muslims themselves are aware of it and warn people about it. So I don't know why the West is so slow to catch up. Really,
Moving on to the next conversation. Why do you think we aren't talking about building the Dyson Swarm yet?
Dyson Swarm, yeah, we were talking
No,
about that.
energy, yeah, that's where we're at. That would definitely bring the world together.
Track this, Jim. One
The Dyson Swarm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah,
Right. I talked about this before. I might not do it justice. So Dyson Swarm is this idea that you put a solar panel near the sun in space somewhere in a satellite, right? And that collects the energy. And then we now have the energy. We have the technology, and it just came about this year to beam the energy from one satellite to another satellite.
Yes.
So we collect all this solar energy and we can beam it, and we can redirect it. And we can direct it all the way to a receiver on Earth, right?
Right.
And receive energy that way. But the thing is that most of the energy is lost via the atmosphere.
Yes.
So in the space, the transfer is pretty efficient. But when it gets through the atmosphere, you lose about 80% of the energy.
Yeah.
Because of light diffraction. So my idea is to have a high altitude balloon that floats above the atmosphere.
Yes.
And we already have this, like that floats around above the atmosphere 24/7. We use it for weather purposes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we already have that infrastructure.
Yeah, we have
So we've built a receiver on it, and maybe what Nick was saying, I would leave that bit to you. Right. We build a receiver on a high altitude balloon above the atmosphere to receive the energy, and then tether it to the ground fired cable.
Yes.
Right, and then you have some idea of the cable.
The carbon nanofibers.
Nick was saying, why don't we use nanocarbon fibers because it's strong and it's perfect conductor. And,
yes.
They can hold the thing together and transfer the electricity down.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Anyway, onto your power station, and that will avoid the atmospheric loss.
Yes.
And then, if you have multiple satellites doing the same thing around the sun, then that's called Dyson Swarm.
Yes.
And then eventually they say that you can build if you completely cover the sun with receivers, then that'll be a Dyson sphere.
Yes.
And you would have the power of, wow.
The entire star.
Yeah. Incredible.
You're using all the energy of the sun.
So what about
you'd have to disassemble an entire planet for the infrastructure to build it, though.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to take apart Mercury and then turn the entire material of Mercury into the solar panels to then put them out. And then I saw this on the YouTube channel. I can't remember what it was called, but it was amazing. It was brilliant. And they were talking about how if the power of two and dividing, how like cells work, like 1 makes 2, 2 makes 4, 4 makes 8, 8 makes 16, 16 makes 32, and then so on, 64, and then, it keeps going and going and doubling every time. So if these satellites could make themselves and double, almost like an atom, then the entire sun could be covered in 1 decade.
So
Isn't that crazy?
How would you get a cable? How would you get a cable to go from this balloon that you're talking outside the Earth and through the Earth when there's a burn up when you come back into the Earth again? There would have to be some kind of heat pad shield.
No, because it's not moving.
It's not moving.
It's
so
just
it's only when
stationary.
something comes in.
It's just stationary. If something's coming into the atmosphere, it's coming in really fast.
Yeah.
Right? So the astronauts that just came back,
Yeah.
were coming in at 20,000 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and the atmosphere slowed them down.
Yeah, because there was a massive burn up when they came back into re-entered Earth.
Yeah. They're coming.
So I'm
hot.
assuming if you put a cable through that,
If you put a cable off, you'd almost have to put it in the ocean or something, so that way it could have a little bit of give and move a little bit, possibly.
And you were saying that after I gave you that idea, you were saying actually, we could have multiple locations, so that as the world rotates and the trajectory of sunlight changes, you can maintain. Well, you tell me.
Maintain the constant flow of electricity coming in, and you can just change the location or whatever, and beam it to the next station, next tower or whatever, or have multiple sources coming out at once, because they could possibly, if you could beam one form of light, laser, because isn't it through lasers that they're able to transfer the electricity?
Through lasers and other electromagnetic waves too.
So then if we were able to transfer that into multiple beams where you can hit all the receivers at once, on the ground from the satellite that's gathering it all, or multiple satellites. It'd be awesome. There's so many possibilities.
We technically have the technology there.
We just
satellite information into
It's
Earth.
just putting like the resources in because there's a lot of material.
Do you know who can make this happen?
Starlink does that.
Starlink, yeah.
Because he beams stuff from space into Earth.
It's already internet signals are coming in.
It's pretty impressive how that was done.
Yeah, I was a beta tester for that.
That was sick.
For one of the first people to use that here.
Yeah. What do you think about the space race?
The space race is unbelievable how it's gone commercial.
Do you think we're going fast with it, or do you think it's like we're still like years away from here?
It's leaped so far in just the last 20 years. It's unbelievable what's been accomplished. It's unbelievable.
Going to the moon again?
I know.
Wow.
Again, since the last one?
Well, we're going to be setting up bases on the moon, dude, by 2030. Hopefully.
I haven't followed up on that area, so.
Well, they need to start sending like I think they're gonna probably have like a orbiting lab above the moon, and then that would be like almost like a safety net to get to.
Yes.
And then transfer astronauts down to the moon and back up to that, and then to the Earth.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that.
Like mountaineering, they have the same idea. They have camps, at each stage, so that if you run into trouble, you can actually go up camp.
Like a life raft.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. It's phenomenal how it works.
It's going to take a lot of infrastructure, and Elon has the money to do it, and that's the best place to start with is the moon before going to Mars. Like, we should actually be doing that first and conquer the moon first. If we can set up the bases and the infrastructure on the moon, then we know we can do it, and then we can go off to another planet and do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's like jumping the gun a little bit by just going straight to Mars.
The Chinese have been trying to grow some kind of like plants on the moon.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah,
that's cool.
And it comes out all weird because gravity is not there. But I'm thinking
the soil though is it the soil okay as well, like the moon dust and stuff?
They treat the soil and then the soil is usable to grow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Question for you again: why is it right? So when every single space takes off, we hear about American space takes all the time over here. But like we never see about like the Chinese space takes taking off. But is there an actual launch pad in space? Or do you actually launch from space, or is it you launch from America?
The Chinese actually is extremely advanced in terms of in the space race, but then the media suppresses the news, the reports about it. The Chinese are very accomplished in space.
You can find it. There's people on YouTube that show it.
Yeah. No, it's just it's weird because we
have
never see that over
station.
here.
You have to look.
You have to go find it.
They have their own space station. Chinese have
the Chinese have their own space station. There was just an incident there where they ran out of supplies and they couldn't get resupplied for a minute, and then they were trying to launch another rocket to them, and I think that one failed. But I'm telling you right now, if we all just worked together and we built a big ass space station, it would be amazing if all the countries worked together at this, because this is going to save humanity.
So that leads on to the next point. Do you think it's about science? Do you think it's about control? Do you think it's about dominance between all the countries? Are we all racing for science? Or are we racing for control or dominance?
The people right now are competing, and they're not competing in a healthy way.
You got to go at the beginning of the space race when it all started, okay? Russia is a communist country, okay? They competed against America, which is a capitalist country, and they it's all about making money and all that shit, which is they're like the richest fucking country on earth, whatever. But Russia has cosmology, and it's actually their religion to go back to the stars. Their religion was we are from the stars and we're going back to the stars.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
That's why they're called cosmonauts.
Oh wow.
It's called cosmosis.
Is that a cult or something?
No. This is what they believe in, and this is a different thing that I don't understand why nobody ever talks about it, because that's exactly what they believed in, and that's why they were able to build. They were able to build the best rockets. They built full flow rocket engines to get to outer space, and which we thought was impossible.
Yes.
Americans thought was impossible. They built it because they believe in it.
Yeah.
They believe in it. So that's why they were able to compete against us. And so then we thought of it as a threat, and we were like, oh, it's defense. We got to fucking build some shit because we're threatened by this, and we're going to build it because the Cold War was on, right?
Yes.
So Yuri Gagarin was the first human being to be shot into outer space on April 12th, my birthday. That's why I know this, because I love the space. So April 12th, 1961. Yuri
Showing your
Gagarin.
age now. Are you kidding?
No, I'm born in 1980, motherfucker. So he was shot into outer space, and then we're like, holy crap, we gotta do something about this. Well, it was Sputnik in 1957, you know, and then we were like, what is this? Why are they launching something into outer space? We've never done this before. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And so we started freaking out, pumping money, and then Kennedy was like, oh my god, they were fucking just shot a human. We gotta send a human to outer space and to the moon.
Yeah.
And that was his big speech, and then we like put tons of money, hundreds of thousands of people working on it to get people to the moon.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We were just like, fuck it, we're gonna spend a shit ton of money on sending motherfuckers to the moon because we have to.
Yeah.
In defense. And it's military based.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a part of the religion, our religion, like it is for Russia.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about
That's
Russia.
wild.
I love that shit.
I never knew that.
Yeah. You know, the world doesn't really know that. That's
Yeah.
just fucked up. It's like, come on now. Russia's fucking awesome.
So
I love the Russian people.
So
They're Vikings. Fuck.
do you think the government is like in the entire world? Do you think the government's like holding on to technology and they're not
Oh yeah.
letting us know about it?
Absolutely.
Like secret stuff.
Absolutely, dude.
They probably see the AI that, you know, by the time we got it, probably some old person's had it for a decade or something.
Yeah.
The supercomputers that they've had, and the fiber optic computers that they have, and all this stuff that we didn't.
So they're
shit
like
that
years
works
ahead
at
of us.
Yes, where their computers literally work at the speed of light.
Yeah.
And like ours are just like fucking taking, you know, milliseconds to process shit,
Yeah.
but it's still too long, and they can intercept anything they want.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you think that's a bad thing? Do you think that's a good thing that that's happening?
They say the market say the rich people always get the prototype first, you know, and then, you know, but
It's thousands.
and then later on they make mass produces them and for everybody else to use. But then they have to make money, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the model. Like they first of all they make a few, you know, and sell it for lots and lots of money, and then later on they make factories and they mass produce it for everyone else. Well, that's a fact of life. What can you do?
And you think that's the reason why they're like hiding it? Yeah.
Well, that's why they don't make things last as well. They make things to break now.
Yeah.
So it's like a.
So we have to keep rebuying.
We have to keep rebuying it. Like when,
Yeah.
back in the day, they would make things try to last forever.
Yeah.
I would rather pay a lot of money to have something to last a lot longer than that I just throw away every month or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, or year.
But what I was thinking, back to your previous point first, and then I'll
Yeah.
address. I think that the cycle between like making a prototype and then, you know, and selling it to rich clients first at a high price, and then later on, you know, reduce the price and sell it to the mass market. That there is, it takes a period of time,
Yes.
and the shorter that cycle it is, the better for everyone, because then we don't have to wait that long, right? So like, you know, the first iPhone comes out, it's very expensive, and then the next cycle comes out, it'll be cheaper and so forth for
Yes.
everybody else, you know. And as long if that cycle was like 10 years or 20 years, it'd be unfair, because like, you know, some rich guys had it for 10 years and you're in the Stone Age, and you've never seen it before, you know. But if they shorten it to like, you know, 6 months or something like that, I can accept that.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, you need to make money, I understand, but you know, don't make us wait that long. You know, that's unethical. And the other thing about you saying making things to break,
Yeah.
that's really annoying, isn't it?
It's so annoying.
You want, when you buy something, you want it to last, and then the bastards make it design it so it breaks, so you have to buy another one.
Even
that's
Apple,
so evil.
even Apple fucking
Apple
does
does
that shit, dude.
they-
Oh, you can get this update, and all of a
They
sudden,
need to
The phone slows down.
yeah, or whatever,
Yeah.
or like you've paid for this insurance on your product, and then that expires, and then like literally 2 weeks later, your product breaks. You're like, what
It's-
the fuck is that? Like put into the fucking system.
It's funny because back in the
bug.
day, the old computers,
so,
the old computers and stuff, or the old monitors and stuff, you could have dropped them on the floor and they wouldn't have broke. You know, it would have probably taken an odd dent here or there, but like now you drop a monitor on the floor and it's
over.
fucking smashed.
yeah.
It's like, you know, they're using
They have
cheaper.
fucking bulletproof glass for
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
They're using like cheaper, lighter. They're using like cheaper, lighter fucking material or something. And
Yeah, and
is
if
it-
you make a monitor, it never breaks. You
Yeah.
know, you just buy one and that'll do you
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. And then they'll say, "Oh, but then
They never make any money.
They don't make any
sell
money.
the one fucking. They
Yeah.
this is
sell
like the
one
light.
thing.
This is like the light bulb thing. You know, there's
Exactly.
a light bulb that
Exactly. Thomas Edison's
Yep.
original light bulb still works.
Yep.
You're like, what the fuck,
lasts.
man?
Yeah, and we're sitting buying new light bulbs every fucking. What the fuck?
it's evil. It's horrible.
So we are being played. We are being
They
played.
are.
to
But
some
how
level.
greedy? Like, you know, there needs to be some sort of standard to say, like,
There almost need to be laws. put
I
into
mean,
place.
laws. You know, like, but light bulb should last for this amount. You know, anything less than that, you know, would be against the law.
or you just can't release it to the public. It's like it's a faulty product. Like, there needs to be like a faulty product police or something.
yeah. If
So-
I buy a hammer, I want it to be a lifetime hammer. You know? If it breaks, you know.
Yeah. So do you think? What do you think about UFOs and stuff? Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's bullshit? Do you think
I don't know. That's a hard one. Wait, go Nick.
you're
first.
Americans?
Nick, go first.
Yeah, I mean,
But blame you.
Playin. I think, especially since there's water here on this planet, like this would be like a target for any intelligent life in the cosmos.
Yes.
In just our galaxy, right? So like our galaxy is like where all the stars exist, and then each star has its own solar system, which has planets, and fucking who knows how many planets out there have intelligent life, right? So,
Yeah.
but any blue planet like ours would definitely be a target for anything that can travel the cosmos. The technology to go through the cosmos is insane, though, because if you look at the nearest star, Alpha Centauri, and is that it? Is that it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know there's loads of stars. There.
You gonna name them all?
I can't remember which one's the closest. Which one's the closest? Do you know, Ken? Is it
Alpha Proxima.
or Proxima Centauri or something?
Proxima Centauri.
Or Proxima, yeah, something like that. Anyways, they're like, like what, 4 light years from us? And if you look at how far 1 light year is, it's like 24 trillion miles, 1 light year,
It's crazy.
and that's so far, man. And even like with the technology that we have now, they said that with this Parker Solar Probe that's going around the sun is like the fastest object that humans have ever created.
Yes.
And it's the size of a refrigerator, but it's traveling at like 400,000 miles an hour. Okay. Because it's using the gravity assist from the sun and Venus. It's like going around in loops, and it's just speeding up every time, right? And it's going 400,000 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
And
My
if we were
house
to
sounds
if we were to launch that from Earth right now
Yeah.
to the nearest star, it would take 2,000 years to get there.
That's mad.
2,000 years to get to the nearest star from us.
Yeah, that's why.
Humans aren't living long enough to do that.
Yeah,
I know. So it's like you'd have to have multiple generations of humans to get there.
imagine how would dating work on this ship?
It'd be insane. It's like
Would it be assigned?
with the fastest thing we've ever created, it would still take 2,000 years to get to the nearest star. So it's like for something to get here, they would have to have something super advanced to bend space, wormholes, something like that to get here. They would have to have something
That's insane.
super advanced.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it on chemical rockets. They're not going to do it on anything that we're using right now.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
it's pretty unbelievable. So I mean, aliens, if they were here, I mean, there could be like possibly, instead of extraterrestrial, like a physical presence, like an extra celestial, where it might not even be physical at all.
Yeah.
And it could just show up and appear whenever it wants to.
Yeah.
Type thing. That could be a real thing.
So if aliens were on Earth, what do you think changes? Or has it changed?
Depends on the nature of the alien. Like, if it's interdimensional alien, as you say, they fold space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
have
you
to.
saying?
They would
You
have
say
to.
if they float in space, then you're talking about like aliens are capable of like it's 4-dimensional aliens, not 3-dimensional.
Yeah, completely different dimensions.
Yeah,
Like,
they'd be
you know,
like,
celestial.
yeah,
beings
they'd be
and
able
not
to jump
dimensional.
between space, hop between space.
Yeah.
So if those kind of aliens, they will have profound effects on. They may not be even bound by time. They could travel back, maybe back in time.
Yeah.
So what would the effect on human? It would be too profound to even fathom. I think it would be crazy.
Do you think
It
we?
would end civilization as we know it.
It might not. It might.
Or might not.
Maybe help us. Maybe we were never meant to be that here.
Do you think they would come in and
Maybe
pretend?
Maybe this is like an actual zoo of the universe, and like they
That's
just
right.
have like aliens coming by and going like, look at all the humans and all these little things that are on this planet.
Yeah.
Do you think? Do you think if
And
they
we're
came in?
like all the different species are just from another planet, and they just took us here, all here, dropped us off just to see what happens.
Do you think if they did come in, do you think they would make themselves known, or do you think they would just fit in with humanity and just pretend
Just blend in.
like play us?
I think
They'd be
if
smart
they
enough
were
to do that.
interdimensional aliens, they'd be so smart that we would just be ants, and just maybe
Yeah.
we're a species to be preserved, to work around. Yeah.
Maybe we're
And
supposed to
noticed-
get to their level or something, or maybe
Well, we are advancing, faster than you can really explain it. I mean, like, how long ago did the internet come out? It was within my lifetime, I think.
Yeah,
So we're AI now,
I
so
know.
maybe we're assisted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we could be. They could be. They're the ones that are trickling the technology to us.
It could be.
Be interesting, and they're just making the profit.
Well, why would they even have to have a profit?
Yeah, well,
Why would they need a product?
then why would they?
There would be no such thing. Right?
Yeah.
That's like a human thing that divides us, that makes us, that's one of the bullshit things about human nature is we try to find things that divide us more than unite us.
Yeah.
And we're more united actually than different.
Yeah, we think
It's because they want control. Like they want to be the boss. Everyone wants to be the master of the house, and then because of that, they don't get on with each other, and then polarize into two camps. But I think we're on the cusp of something, exciting. Like right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Do you think the world, like, do you think things are getting more unstable, or do you think it's just people's perception?
It's gonna get worse until it gets better. I think.
Yeah, well, we just have to sort out the bullshit, right? Like all the bullshit in the world. They do need to release better technology to us, though. And we need to work together to release whatever's best technology we have to everybody. Because like they're doing plug-in solar right now in Germany, and it's working.
Yeah.
Like where you can go buy solar panels, plug it into your house, and then lower your fucking your energy bills. And so you don't actually have to rely on them providing electricity to you. You can get your own electricity.
Yeah.
And it's plug and play.
So where do you think we'd be in like 20, 30 years from now? Like, what's this? If it's
Predictions.
production.
Predictions. Oh.
Like, so what do you feel would be in your like perception? What do you feel in 20, 30 years from now?
Okay.
Would be the best outcome? from it?
Well, what I predict is that one way or another, this Iran is going to end. Iran was going to end. The Middle East will normalize and make friends with each other. And then with Iran out of the way, and then Russia and Ukraine, they're exhausted already. Ukraine, we're talking about like asking over 60s to volunteer for the military. That means, they're running low on manpower. I mean, like, what are we going to do? Send the pensioners out to war? Like, what if? It's time to end this, And in Russia, they're suffering huge damage. It's costing a fortune to keep it going. With the oil situation, they could be making loads of money right now. If only they just call it quits, And they don't need the land. I mean, they've already taken Crimea. They're taking 20% of Ukraine. They should just call it quits. Stop where they are. I think they could sell it as a victory to the people.
And
So
just
you-
work together again because they used to work together massively when the USSR was together.
Yeah,
Fucking
and then
hell.
hopefully within 30 years' time, it'll be like Germany and USA where they can get on and they'll be all right. So I hope that's going to happen in 30 years. Well, between now, sooner than 30 years.
I think we just need to get rid of NATO, though. NATO doesn't even need to exist anymore. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's the biggest lie to the fucking world ever. Because it's like
Yeah.
this big beef between America and Russia. Oh my God, we have to fucking build defense. We have to fucking make all this bullshit. It's like, well, we're working together in space.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? How come Europe didn't fucking pick that one up? Like, what the shit, man? We're working together behind the scenes, but then, we're fucking fighting on the ground, so you need to build your fucking defenses up because we're gonna need to put our nukes right next to you, and we're gonna put our nukes next to you. It's like, this is fucking bullshit, man.
Do you think NATO's being used at the moment? And I've seen it recently.
It's a big waste of fucking money, I'll tell you that right now.
Do you think they're using it as a distraction?
It's a big waste of money. They need to end it all and get rid of it and say, fuck all this shit, dude.
NATO spending is just what each country spend on their own military.
Yeah.
And then they
in a united front against Russia.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. They need to work together with Russia because they get their fucking oil and energy from Russia.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's so dumb, man. So dumb.
I don't know about NATO. I think that the Russian and Ukraine war is going to end, and then Iran's going to become irrelevant. However, this war ends, it's going to become irrelevant. And then China, well, they will go like, well, I can't be asked taking out Taiwan now. Like all my allies, Maduro and all that stuff.
So why do humans ignore the long-term risks for?
Huh?
Why do humans ignore like massive risks within the world, and why do they wait till it's like too late?
Why did they ignore the risks?
Yeah,
because they were probably afraid of confronting it. For
a long time.
For Iran, you talking about Iran?
Yeah, like just in general, like the risks of the world,
of the
nuclear risks.
Yeah, risks. Why do we wait till like humans wait till it's too late to like maybe end their deal with it?
They procrastinate, and they also there's also bureaucracy, and then they have to get consensus in
There's almost too much bureaucracy.
And then some of them are corrupt. Some of them are paid, like ideally, you're saying, we should explore oil more. Ideally, they all be using solar and using renewable and smarter energy.
Yeah. Smarter energy.
Cleaner
it's
energy.
There, man.
Yeah.
It's so there.
But then
the swarm. The Dyson swarm. That needs to be pushed forward. That kind of technology.
But then there's like car manufacturers making fuel tank, and they'll have to adapt. So they want to resist, And there's some hybrids out there already.
Yeah, hydrogen cars are actually the way forward because like what comes out of the tailpipe is water and oxygen. The environment.
all the factories, they're running on like fuel that you have to upgrade to solar or something like that.
Yeah.
They are resisting. So that's why everything's like held back until they have no choice. All right,
it's greed, man.
The planet's going to
Greed,
end
money,
unless
and
you do something right now, and then they'll do something. Otherwise, everyone's just kind of holding back.
Yeah,
it's like what Pink Floyd said, man. Money, get away, get a good job.
Yeah.
And you're okay.
Oh yeah, I think it's interesting. Like we've covered a lot of topics and a lot of discussions that we have.
Yeah.
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 Is there anything else you want to say? Chip in with conversations.
Yeah, we should keep doing this.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll be back next week. Same time next week. We'll make this a weekly
episode
thing.
1.
Yeah. Episode 1. Yeah, we'll get back and get more conversation. And if you have any questions at your end, feel free to put it in the comments. And
put it in the comments below.
We'll
come back at you next episode or something.
Join in with the conversations as well and see if we can pull all them in and get some kind of answers.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that was the Stop Playing Realism podcast with Nick and Ken and myself, Danny. It was great being on here, and thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and share, and tag your friends. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
Adios.